Content creators, hear me loud and clear. You don't need to beg people to follow you. You don't need to force people to watch your videos. If you build value, people will automatically follow you. You want more followers? Don't chase them, serve them. So here's a lesson from Jesus' life. I was studying the book of Matthew and I realized that Jesus did not beg anybody to follow him. Actually, the value Jesus carried, I mean, it was God too. The value Jesus carried attracted people to him. You know, you hear things like his fame went about and people came from different countries. I'm just like millions followed Jesus just because he had a supernatural power, he had authority, and he carried so much value. When I was just reading it, I was just like, God, people from different countries. That same principle applies to your own content creation journey. So you hear things like, oh, people came all the way from Samaria, Galilee, Jerusalem, Jordan. Like, how did they get to know Jesus? It was because people kept talking, oh, there's this man, he's performing miracles. The blind could see, the lame could walk, the lepers are getting healed. Probably the woman with the issue of blood, they saw her case and people were restored. People were restored of their dignity. People felt seen because like lepers were actually segregated. They were isolated because they were not meant to move freely among the people. But Jesus restored his dignity back into the society. He was not able to participate in religious communities. He could do that, right? Because Jesus gave him healing. So I realized that it is value that you need. Once you are a value, once you build yourself, people will come to you. Just like ants always, sugar always attracts ants, right? That is the way it is. So I hope God open your eyes and do. My first point is that Jesus built value in private. As a content creator, you should not be hungry for the spotlight. I get it. We see all the flashy lifestyle. I get it. But you need to kill that passion and you should build your value. You spend time in the secret place, build audience, authentic audience, show up the way you ought to show up, and show up here as a result of the overflow that you have. Take time to master your niche, grow in your skill, and just refine your message, right? Let people be able to connect with you, and don't just do it because, I get it. Sometimes you just want to trend. It's not just about the trend, it's about you transforming, motivating people, right? Your private preparation is public power. Jesus spent 30 years before he began ministry. And what was he doing during those years? He was preparing himself. He was growing. He was full of wisdom. He was growing in anointing. So you need to build yourself first. And when you build yourself, trust me, people will come to you. You will attract people. The second thing I need you to know is that people follow value, not noise. When you are valuable, when you are someone that carries value, your right audience will find you. And honestly, you need to know that you need to solve problems, give insights. When you solve problems, you give insights, you show up consistently, your audience will follow you because of what you carry. The next thing I need you to know is that the oil attracts the tasty. And as a content creator, your own oil is your unique message, your own story, your own insight, your own authenticity. When you build on that, you refine that. Trust me, I'm saying this again, your audience will find you. Because I realized people follow Jesus because of what he carried. They knew that when they come to Jesus, their problems will be solved, right? So it's not just about you. Jesus did not chase the crowd for once. At the point that he had to separate himself. You hear something like, oh, the multitude was following him, and then Jesus went up to the mountain. He always finds a way to just segregate himself, to separate himself. That's because you need to build yourself. That oil needs to keep flowing. You get, because when that oil runs dry, trust me, people are going to leave. So you need to also maintain your own secret place. You need to continue build yourself. The next point is that you need to build, you need to show up, and you need to be faithful. Child, Jesus was faithful. As a content creator, you need to show up, you need to be consistent, whether people are watching you or not. Honestly, you need to serve. You need to serve your community by creating engaging content, right? Teach what you know. You don't know everything, but teach what you've learned. right? Make sure you serve. Make sure you serve. Oh my God, this was so powerful. You know, whenever I just read the life of Jesus, I realized that Jesus fed the people. Jesus taught. Jesus, you know, even what he cleansed his disciples. Like he saved his disciples. And during those days, it was just like, oh, your master should not be serving you. You know, your servants are the ones supposed to be serving you. But Jesus turned it the other way, and he was the one serving, right? So you need to serve. You need to have a servant mindset, and you need to understand that this is not just for, you know, trend. You are here to do something. You're here to impact lives, not just to, you know, just do anyhow, right? Just show up, be consistent, trust God, and I'm telling you, things is things a lot of things is about to shift in your content journey. You want more followers? Don't chase them, serve them. Another thing I need to know is that you need to show up weekly. You need to show up weekly. You need to give insights. You need to serve. You need to answer their questions, right? So if you're a content creator and then you are wondering when you will get to be seen, when people will notice you, honestly, that's not what you need. Just grow in the dark. There is power in that. Honestly, make sure you continue to build your value. Make sure you continue to work yourself, grow in the anointing, and be consistent. And just like Jesus, they will follow you not just because of hype, but because of the substance that you carry. Which part of this message resonates or hits you the most? Leave a comment down below. And if you're serious about your content journey, if you're serious about creating content with purpose, please make sure you share this content with other creative and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.